Oh, kia ora tātou katoa. I thought we were going to be on this 22nd loop, but I've got to give an eye over there to go. Next one, so we can keep with the timing that's going on. Anyway, let's get started. Hang on, I've got to come this way. I must say that I left my bag back at my house on the way here. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about mahi Māori and also its combination in terms of wayfinding. So it's just a big mihi to all the mata Māori. I mean, why wayfinding is important in the mahi that we do. And I guess, you know, if you're shackled to mahi Māori, you've got to be passionate about what you do. So I've got some key cultural heroes here that have got a job description, a personal job description, probably reflects a few people in the room, notwithstanding myself. But I mean, there are more than 90 plus hapu Marei throughout the whole of Te Takiwā Ngāti Kahungunu. And of course, the aspirations of the 50,000 voices, minds and hearts that ourselves in terms of what we deliver in mahi Māori. Next. I want to just give a little bit of an update in terms of the tamata, our tipuna, and what's happened, as you probably heard on the waves over the last year and a half. But the first thing I want to say is that it was really not just about a process of identifying our cultural history. It is really about our cultural well-being and aspirations. I mean, we're talking about a depth of history that takes us back through a period of splendid isolation of 1,000 years of 1,000 years of our history. And so, and pulling us all together back in June 2018, that's why this thing's picking up on the time frame. We were invited as Te Manaki Taiao to undertake a cultural impact assessment. But we said, no, our approach is going to be an approach on our cultural well-being, because those are Western frameworks, Westernised frameworks. So our cultural committee of experts, our kaumātua, amongst people with Uncle Jerry and other people that were formed to come around and provide that guidance within the terms of mahi Māori. A specialised project team was also created. On this particular team, there were 3 takuta. So we're very endowed to have a team of experts, clinicians, technicians. And of course, we went through identifying who are the kaumātua out there, those people that hold our knowledge, in order to validate our history. Because back up in these hills here, and you can see that craggy track there, we come from the echelons of the Pananehu, Pa'ananehu, if you just break that down, ana. So burial caves are up in this area, very steeped in both tapu and of course the very things that we hold today. We ran huia hapu, as we do, to try and be transparent in our mahi Māori. A lot of diversity and colour that comes out of running huia hapu, huia iwi. Next. And of course, one of the outcomes that I'm pleased to say is that in June next month, there's going to be a hearing which is set around this thing called a restricted discretionary activity. In other words, to remediate the track. So hoatu, we got there because this was a huge problem. Now, it's a process within RMA which is quite quirky because this is about remediating and restoring the track. It wasn't without having our kuia, our kaumātua, our rangatahi stump up, ka whawhai tonu atu mātou, without struggle, without rest. But we got there, and of course, having to go through this RDA, it's going to go through another appeal process, but we're going to get there. Next. This could be any of our maunga, whether it's maunga kahia, maumau kai, whakapuanaki, maunga hāruru, whatu mā, ruahene, tararua. These things are fast encroaching around ourselves as we start to promote things such as tracks, tourism, and we just got to be totally aware of the impact that this will have on ourselves, because there are a lot of these tapu places that are around these particular whenua. Next. Now, just want to raise a matter that's really important, and it's to do with Te Kauaia Māui, Te Mata Māui. It has places such as Tuhinapo. It is our umbilical cord to the heavens. It is endowed with our history as we start to look at Te Aho Māui, right down the whole of from Te Waipounamu, right up to Te Kauaia Māui. Now, what's happening down in this little slide here is that one of the biggest pā sites that's gone right on that coastal edge, it's subject to a lot of coastal erosion. And so in this space over here, this whole bank, from here right over to here, in And this is just a small snippet of it. It's starting to erode. And of course, it's exposing our koiwi. Okay, and so there's some urgent action that's required. Next slide. And part of that whole area, of course, is a tourist spot under the eyes of DOC, Department of Conservation. Their endeavours is to put more tracks. Those damn tracks are starting to go over our, sacred spaces. Look, this is not about stopping, but being quite cautious about where these places are going to be set. And so whilst the Department of Conservation has this thing about the Great Track, we've also got to be very mindful that in our duty as part of the mahi Māori, need to put process in place. Next. And part of that process, of course, is about engaging in processes with people that have actually got the knowledge. In this case, the Otago University that's been doing fabulous work down in Kairākau and amongst mga rākau whenua and our people down in Kairākau. And it's about having that partnership to enable that specialist knowledge to evolve and to be shared and to be taken with our rangatahi, they're our future kaitiaki. And a management plan that's going to be enabling so that a full research program is undertaken to say, what are we going to do with these koiwi? Where are they going to be buried? Are they going to be there for another 1,000 years? Because in the space of that coastal erosion in the last 50 years, it's cut out 20 metres from the water's edge right back to where it is at the moment. It's very important. Next. What's this one about? Oh. Right, okay, so the Taiwhenua this year is going to be running in its 7th science wānanga. It's enabled 60 of our rangatahi from most of our schools. The next slide is that I'm putting the tono out to us here in Kahungunu. We want to invite each and every one of our respective Taiwhenua. Once we've got the particulars, we'd like to invite you to come along because I think this is really, really important in terms of the pathways matauranga and pathways science. Next. Hawe Park has just evolved out of a process, and I've evolved this one to just talk about the new motorway. And of course, you see the scenery there. Next slide. But it's come with people that have been sitting in this audience that are part and parcel to that process too as well. The many marae and hapu that needed to get to be formed to facilitate oversight and governance. It started not an inch more of Māori land to be taken. And of course, the new motorway, which is Te Arakahi Katia. And this little slide over here, these boxes are the fireside boxes that are held by Māori, or that are being held by Māori and her whānau. And they'll be going into pillars to welcome people into this very special place. Kia ora. Next. Last year I talked about the Māori monitoring framework. It is about what our Kataraina has been talking, except our approach is this is the whole tuki catchment. Next. And of course, it's nothing short of having to facilitate the kānui ki te kānui. In this case, we're out at Ngā Whakatātara Pā at our summer wānanga, held over the year, where 4 seasonal wānanga were undertaken. And of course, bringing the whānau together, reconnecting themselves back with their own whenua. It was a great event. Next one. Now, this might seem to be a little bit rudimentary, but ultimately at the end, it's about the hapu. It's about upholding the mana motuhake of the hapu. So we've started with a clean slate and said, what is the kōrero that's coming from the hapu? In regards to identifying mauri, it's not a very easy process to go through. Next. And of course, that's what we want the various places of our rivers to look like. Serene, beautiful and colourful. Next. And of course, just the last one, this tank. You know, it's been a real huge process over the last 6 years. People are saying that we're heading to the Environment Court, so this is a bit of a heads up, whānau. But we need to have a serious conversation because the issues haven't been resolved. And amongst our active participation, better to participate and litigate, but certainly we need to just get ourselves across the line with this one. Kia ora. Next. And it's for these reasons. Water is a tonga. in terms of both quality and quantity. And Heretaunga, we get hit by it all because the concentration of GDP is right under our nose. Next, in protecting our rights and interests, the thing about it is that we're right across the social, economic, cultural and environmental spaces. So I just want to implore here, when things don't happen right away, just remember it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce and 13 hours to build a Toyota. So time up our sleeve. Next. And who are we doing this for? It could be any of our whānau. And when I did this last year, there was 31 of mine. We went, oops, there's now 39, Bill. Next. Okay. Next, last. And it's all about us whānau, mahi Māori, finding the way, getting to that destination, taking the people with you. Kia ora.